The puny reaction of Western leaders, including the President of the United States and the British government, is lamentable and deplorable. We must express our solidarity with the Palestinian people, both here in Gaza and on the West Bank, who for too many years have endured repression from the Israelis, together with illegal acts such as a Gaza blockade, settlement buildings and the separation wall. We will not rest until there is a free Palestine. I think I'd like to say on behalf of the group, thank you very much for that, Sir Gerald Kaufman.
I think their ultimate end game is to get rid of all Palestinians and have Israel free of Palestinians. The end game for the Palestinians is peace and justice.
Mubarak has gone, and good riddance, and it shows what an absolute disgrace he was in propping up the state of Israel for decades. But Morsi, whatever the criticisms you might have of Morsi, what Morsi is doing is to say we are not going to allow the Israelis to attack the Palestinians in the way that they have done. Now, the only reason Morsi is able to do that is because the Egyptians made a revolution where they got rid of Mubarak and they had a democratic election and they got a new president, a president who is much more hostile to Israel and to the Americans than Mubarak was. In other words, a lot of the change that can come in the Middle East comes from what the people in the Middle East themselves do.
I think actually the Arab revolutions, is the only thing that is really holding back Israel from having already put troops on the ground. Because the Israeli state is petrified that Arab people now have the strength, and Arab people now are more than willing to stand up and fight for their own future. And the ordinary working people are more than willing to overthrow their dictators like Mubarak. So I think if we're going to show solidarity, we don't just need to talk about it, we need to be making these demands in our picket lines. And our final goal has to be to bring the spirit of the Arab Spring here, and to overthrow our dictators, and to overthrow the Tories and anyone who's willing to pump money into apartheid, and anyone who's willing to pay for jets or for bombers to kill Palestinian children.
I would like to see a world where actually there is one secular democratic state, there isn't a Jewish state, that the state shouldn't be based on religion or race or anything else. They should be based on who particularly lives in the particular area. As was pointed out earlier, there have always been Jewish, Christian and Muslim people who've coexisted in this region, and it's the divisions that have been created that have led to their divisions, and we'll live together in peace in the future again. That is the honest truth of the matter, and that is what we have to try to fight for. And that, just finally, that question is not going to be decided just in the Middle East. It will be decided in the Middle East. It will also be decided here in the United States. And it means all the things that we also care about, inequality, the attacks on people on welfare, the attacks on public services, all this kind of thing. When we campaign over those, we cannot ignore imperialism. We live in an imperialist country. It has its dirty fingers in Gaza. We're fed up with the same people who are trying to impose austerity on us and making us pay for war abroad.